Hi there, welcome back. I'm Chris. Procreate has just had another little update, and I know sometimes when an app changes, it can feel a little confusing. So, especially if the buttons move or new options appear and you're not quite sure what's actually useful. So, in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the newest Procreate updates and a few you may not know of from the previous update. So, grab your iPad and let's see what's new. So with this new little mini update, there's a number of things that are really great and can make your workflow even easier. First, let's look at the new Eyedropper active layer option. So normally when you use the Eyedropper tool to pick a color on your canvas, Procreate just looks at the entire screen. So anything on here, any color, no matter what layer you're on. You can see I'm just on this highlight layer here. So it just picks up everything. But what they've now introduced is the active layer option. So let's say I'm on this layer here. So if I'm looking around, I'm just wanting to get that color on that layer. All I have to do is just tap and look at that. See how it goes gray? You can't see anything but that one little layer color. So you can easily just pick the color that's on that single layer. So that works on whatever layer you want. Now, this is the trick here, because if you go and look, do you see how it automatically goes and just selects the layer? So you have to tap again in order to go back to the default where you can pick any color on the canvas. So just be mindful of that. So probably best practice would be once you use it, pick your color and then turn it off again. Otherwise, you might forget and then you're going to be wondering why you can't select anything. The other really exciting update is to do, again, with your layers, but in a different way. So this is a better way to work with multiple layers. So let's say that I had this layer selected, and let's say this layer selected, and we'll select this layer as well. Do you notice this little circle here, this blue with the arrow down? It's giving you all these new options for layers, which is amazing. So we can go ahead and group those layers. So you'll notice how they've moved up. They've kind of moved to the top one. So if you're wondering where they go, or you can merge them. And when you merge them, they all merge to the bottom one that was selected. So you can go look here and you can duplicate them, and that will bring them up to the top selection one. So just such an easier way to maneuver and manipulate your layers. Now, one huge one that I love is that you can select all, which normally you would have to go from see how many layers I have. I think this would take me forever. If I wanted to select all these, I'd have to do this. And that's a bit of a nightmare. So you can imagine. So let's just have here, just select one layer and you just choose select all, everything selected. Then I can easily just go ahead and group that or do whatever you need to do, but most likely be grouping. And so you can have everything all together, and how wonderful is that? And lastly, with the layers, you can go and share. So say I wanted to export a few different layers, and I have just a couple of versions here of this picture. So I can go ahead, tap on the little arrow and say share. And then I can export multiple layers and save them as images. Super simple. So now you'll see these 3 different layers saved to my images. I have heard a little bit online that some of these updates, well, particularly these layer updates, aren't anyone's favorite. It's made it a little less intuitive. It used to be a little bit easier. In some ways, it's given you more options. In other ways, it's just kind of changed it. I love it or hate it. It's important to know where things are, because if you wanted to go and merge your layers like you used to, that option isn't quite the same. So hopefully the overview helps so you know where everything is. Another new change that they've made is they've added a few more fonts. So if you want to go and check that out, you can go into your wrench and add text and edit style. And you'll see that there are a number of fonts that have been added. They've also added better support for Arabic, Hindi, Thai, and Japanese languages. So, which is wonderful because of course it makes it more accessible for everybody. So that's another nice thing to have a little bit more of a variety in here as well. And last, I'm going to show you, it's actually not an update from this update, it was from the update from 2025. I've had a number of people ask me some questions, and it actually resulted in the fact that they weren't aware of the new brush library settings. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention as well because it's a really great tool. They've made it so much easier to organize your brushes into libraries. So it's not just this one library that you have. So just by simply pinching over top of your brushes over your library, you can see that you have multiple libraries that you can have and arrange. So it's a really nice way of grouping your brushes. So if you just want Procreate brushes in one area and then your purchase brushes in another, or separated by certain medium or something like that, it's a great way to do that. So you can just create a new library just simply by tapping on the plus sign and create new library. You can also import your brushes here from files as well. So you just create a new library, you can name it whatever you want, and there you go. So you can have multiple libraries. It's pretty incredible. And that's a look at the newest Procreate updates and a few little extras. So I hope this helped you find some new little tricks that make it so much easier and more approachable. As always, don't feel like you have to use every single feature right away, but just one or two things sometimes make all the difference. And so just play around and see what feels useful for the way you like to create. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and make sure to subscribe for more beginner-friendly Procreate tutorials, tips, and creative inspiration. And comment what you'd like to see next or what you're having trouble with and where I can help you. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're brand new to Procreate, I'll leave a link below to my free Procreate for Beginners course where I walk you through the basics step by step. We also do some really fun projects there together as well. So thanks again for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.